Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the URC. We are up to the quarterfinal stages in this one. Glasgow Warriors, the number one seed, taking on the unlikely opposition in Connacht. They had to work extremely hard to get to this stage of the competition. A couple crucial wins in their final rounds, but they're here and they've actually got some pretty handy form and could potentially cause a little bit of an upset here. And at this URC contest, looking through at the starting lineups for the Glasgow Warriors, it is Patrick Schickerling in the front row alongside Johnny Matthews and Xander Fagerson as the number 3. Scott Cummings alongside Alex Samuel in the locks with Matt Fagerson, Rory Darge and Jack Dempsey as the loose forward trio. You will see a lot of Scottish internationals across this Glasgow Warriors side. And to be honest, this is a team that when they are on their A game, it's very hard to compete that 4-pack. As a whole, George Horn will be the number 9 back in the starting lineup with Dan Lancaster as the 10. Kyle Rowe out on the left wing with Sione Tuipulotu and Stafford McDowell making up the midfield. Kyle Steyn, the captain, out on the right wing, and Josh Mackay at number 15. For the Connacht side, it is Billy Bowen in the front row, Dylan Turney-Martin and also Sam Ilo as the 3. Josh Murphy and Darren Murray make up the locking connection with Kiam Prendergast, Seamus Hurley-Langdon and Paul Boyle as the number 8, Ben Murphy and Josh Ioane as the 9 and 10 combination. It's quite interesting because you've got Ioane on one side, you've got Mackay on the other. Those two men, ex-Highlanders. There was a time, I believe, where they were making up the same back line, but now they're against each other in this URC. Quarter-final, Bundy Arkey in the midfield with John Devine, and then also Shane Bolton, Shane Jennings, and Sam Gilbert as the number 15. This is also a weird scenario, ladies and gents, because on the side of Glasgow, you've got 2 Kyles on the wing. For the side of Connacht, you've got 2 Shanes. I don't think that's ever happened, at least that I can think of, where you've got the same name, although Shane does ruin it slightly because one of them spelt with a Y, but I actually misspelt it in the lineup, so that's okay. But overall, 2 good sides, and like I said, Connacht come in with a really unpredictable kind of style to them, and no one knows how they're going to go here, which makes this one a very exciting first quarter final to be able to have and there as well. But what we will quickly be doing, ladies and gents, you will notice there's a little QR code to the side, and what that is a quiz per se, a live commentary or live, I still don't know how to describe it, but it's a lot of fun. You can get points, you end up on the leaderboard, and in the end you can win yourself a nice prize. But I have just been told that we forgot to put it as the pinned comment. So if possible, if they send it through Messenger, I'll be able to stick that straight in, as that'll be the easiest way I'll put it in. But be sure to use that QR code. We will get a link in a very short moment. We did have someone on the Super Rugby live stream. They won themselves a scarf I haven't found out what team it was yet, but they'll be, hopefully, one of the sides through to the playoffs. Unless they want a Highlanders one, to be fair, probably cheaper at the moment, seeing as they missed out on the playoffs. That seems a bit harsh. Didn't mean for it to be. Looking through at the table, the way that this one sits in the URC, ladies and gentlemen, Glasgow Warriors at the top of the bunch. They did get themselves that number 1 seed. Alongside that, Leinster, they are in second. Then it goes the Stormers and the Bulls. Those 2 sides both have home field advantage for their later quarterfinals. In terms of the opposition, Munster Bulls, that's going to be a good game. Stormers Cardiff, that's a rematch of a game that we saw not too long ago, and that was where we actually saw the Stormers get themselves beaten by around that 6 points. They weren't quite able to perform the way that they would have liked, but now have the chance to redeem themselves on that home soil. Connacht, very interesting one. They snuck in ahead of Ulster, which I don't think many people were anticipating, but they're here. And again, they could have a very good, solid contest here up against Glasgow. In this match, we have got there should be a good game, says Hodri, and also evening Hamish, appreciate the commentary. Welcome in, Tommy. And we have got there, evening Hamish says, Flesham, welcome in. And also, what's up, guys, says, hey. And there as well. And Hamish, what's your score prediction? But don't say by X amount. Give us your exact score prediction. Hashtag no pressure, says Xander. Well, that will be one of the questions on the quiz. And of course, wherever you are in the world, you do still have the chance of being able to take part in said quiz. So be sure to do just that. But I will put the link in the pinned comment so you guys can see it for anyone who is just tuning in now. We'll go like this. And we'll go next play quiz. And we'll go like that. There we go. So that will be the quiz pinned comment, ladies and gentlemen. So be sure to join in on that. Get your predictions in, because if you get it right, you win yourself some merch. You have a good evening. Hamish says, pleasure, welcome in. And also Daryl and What's Up Guys is here in the chat as well. But this game, it is going to be kicking off in 10 minutes time. I'm thoroughly excited for this match, because if Connacht play like they have the last few weeks, this could be very intriguing and quite competitive. If Glasgow find their rhythm early, though, they should run away with this game. They have been in pretty solid form. I know that it's been talked about how Connacht, they were able to get themselves that bonus point win over Munster, as well as the bonus point win over Edinburgh. But Glasgow having that tight fixture up against Ulster, where they were able to get themselves the overall victory by just the 4 points. That was the game that really hurt Ulster in their overall standings. And the week prior to that, getting a good win over Cardiff. We know how hard that Glasgow are to beat at Scotstoun, and the fact that they have got that home field advantage all the way through if they want it, it bodes pretty well for another URC title for the Glasgow Warriors. But like I mentioned, these are our quarterfinals. As you can see, if you're the home field team, you got a pretty good chance. But ironically, and this is where once again it comes into Connacht's form, Glasgow are the least heavy favourites, ladies and gentlemen, even though they're playing the 8th ranked team. It is considered to be the closest game of the bunch. Although I do think that Stormers-Cardiff game, because of what Cardiff were able to do last match, maybe that could be that little bit closer. And of course, we've seen Munster do well up against the Bulls in South Africa. But Lions, they're up against a wounded Leinster. Want to go out there and really make a statement in their upcoming quarterfinal. For the upcoming games, we have got the semi-finals next week. Now, it is confirmed that no matter how the rankings sit, it will still be certain sides facing certain teams. There is still a chance of an all-South African final. There's also a chance of an all-Irish final chucked in there too. And then that's about all, really. The thing is, it could be an all-South African semi-final if it's Stormers versus Lions as well. That game would be taking place in Cape Town if that was the case. We have got there. How's it going, brother? How you doing? Going Glasgow by 7. Says Birdie in there and 2 former champions. Says QQ. And also we have got there, I'm in the arena. How does it work? So there will be questions that pop up as we go along in the match. Pretty much the reason that I know how it works is because the fellas are actually in my lounge. They had to get up extremely early. I have to say they were very committed, because not many people will want to get up and show up at a house at about 5:45 a.m. and say, you know what, let's go do some work. So yeah, we're going to be up for these random hours. There are a couple other streams that they are going to be on as well. But the gist of it is questions will be rolling through. You answer them as best as you can. You get points for them. As the match progresses, the points increase. So it's a little bit similar. I'd almost call it like a Trivial Pursuit type of point system. And then whoever's at the top of the bunch, they win themselves a prize. We did see Vic get himself one. Not the Vic from Vic and Vern, but Vic from Vic Mars from Auckland. So he got himself some Super Rugby merch. And there is going to be a prize, I should say, for whoever finishes number 1 in the overall standings too. James Lowe has not got a contract. He may be leaving Ireland this summer. Yeah, he's an interesting one, isn't he? In terms of the fact that they haven't locked him in. Obviously, they feel like those younger options. Tommy O'Brien's been in phenomenal form for Leinster, so I guess that's one choice. But Rico Ioane's going to be leaving too, so it'll be intriguing to see what they actually do in terms of their backline. They might not even have their same coach for the next season too. Bulls will, or would hope Connacht win. Says Kevin. Yeah, although if Connacht beat the number 1 seed, Connacht might be one to keep an eye out for. We've got to remember Connacht recently, didn't they beat the Stormers, didn't they, on South African soil? So again, this side is a very unpredictable one in the best possible way. And yeah, we'll wait and see exactly what they do in the 80 minutes. The thing is, I'm talking them up and I'm worried that I'm going to give them all this praise and then they're going to go out there and get beaten by 40 points. That would be the worst case scenario for Connacht if they have already played their big matches per se over the last few weeks. We have there, hi everybody, I'm Adam from Next Play. He's in that room just next to me. We have Omar pushing the questions and I'll be here in the comment section. If you guys have any difficulties with the prediction game, let me know. Yeah, so it is still a very early product for these guys, so any sort of technicalities that go wrong, do let them know, because it is a work in progress for them as well. But the two sides just about to make their way out onto the field. It's actually a really nice day by the looks of it for this Glasgow Warriors versus Connacht match. The sun is out. Does mean that we should have limited handling errors, which I do like. Don't ask Historical questions, please. It's not that I can't remember. It's just I don't live in the past, says Xander. No, well, you're all right then, because they are only going to be asking questions regarding this match, here and now, in terms of what is happening. They'll ask you a score prediction. They'll ask where you think the conversion's going to go. When they take on a shot, there will be questions regarding the kickoff. Where are they going to go off the kickoff for those type of options? Is there going to be a try in the first half? That sort of thing all thrown in there. For the quiz, questions will pop up live based on what just happened. Score prediction question will be pushed out a minute before kickoff. Says Omar there. And the Connacht prediction. Oh, that's a big Connacht win. If they win 32 points to 17, I think those boys would take winning it just by 1. But winning it by 15 points at Scotstoun, a location where hardly anyone has been able to beat this side, it would be a statement and a half in that regard. Maybe Lions versus Connacht in the final. Says Hardis. Imagine that, 7 versus 8 in the old ranking system. That would be intriguing. I feel like people wouldn't know how to react to that one. Who would you back in that case if it was Lions Connacht? It'd be a Lions home game because they get to have it in South Africa from being 7th. You have to give them half a chance, I would think. Although they have recently lost Henko van Wyk, haven't they? Unfortunately, with that injury, is it a dry track? Yep, that is on the AstroTurf type of situation. So there won't be a huge amount of unpredictability, I would say, in terms of the scrums. You're not going to have a foot slip out from underneath them more than likely, but you will get a few tricky bounces, which could make it intriguing. Connacht have never won in this stadium, says QQ. Now, so Hamish Craig from St. Francis Bay and Eastern Cape, South Africa is back. Yay, says Craig in there. So, of course, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to either scan that QR code or grab that link in the pinned comment. Take yourself over to Next Play. Now, I will mention you can actually still watch the live stream while also playing along with the predictions. They've done something that is much more above my pay grade because I just see an app and it works, so that's good. But it's going to be intriguing to see who finishes at the top. Novmum was close, but she's not here yet, I don't believe. And Haino may be missing at the moment as well. So those were two who were very much up there in terms of the previous one. Connacht, they travel well. They do, and they seem to just play well in recent times. We have got the Glasgow 32-12, says Daryl. Crusaders had an epic game this morning, says Kevin. Yeah, they dominated the Hurricanes. Although, when you look through at that Hurricane side, you can kind of understand why. They went very experimental. G'day, Hamish and everyone. Welcome in, Thuds Ray. Hope you're doing well. If you haven't already, be sure to get into that quiz for Next Play. See if you can win yourself some sort of rugby merchandise. I'm glad finally someone made an app for score predictions. I emailed YouTube a while ago to do it on YouTube, and they just told me it's not the right department I emailed. Well, that's fun, isn't it? But yeah, so it's kind of like a live Super Brew as you do it throughout the game. And I will admit, on the Super Rugby one, I forgot to put in a lot of answers. I was multitasking to the fullest, and I was terrible at it. We have got there Galway, says Juan Pierre Bosch in there as well, but the ball is now being delivered out to the field about 2 minutes away from the kickoff here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a good one. I'm hoping. Scotstoun Stadium sold out for this contest. Crowd will be getting well and truly behind them. This might be the second last one, right? We've got preparing the live poll. I think that becomes... Oh, it's actually doing it on the screen too. There you go. So you will be able to see what is happening in terms of the live standings on the leaderboard and everything. So if you haven't already, be sure you've got 30 seconds to put in your score prediction for this game. I'm going harsh. I'm not going to tell you what I did, but it's worth 10,000 points. That's actually a lot in the whole scheme of things. So if you get the exact score prediction, or at least the closest, you get yourself the big boost of points right near the end. But two sides on the field. Connacht wearing the away strip with the white and a little bit of green trim. Glasgow. I hope they're not wearing their classic light blue. I think they'll be wearing that dark blue more than likely, because or else then these would almost overlap in terms of colours. Glasgow by 7. Says Birdie in there. Josh Ioane, big chance for that man. Show what he can do in that number 10 jersey. Sam Gilbert at 15. It's pretty much just a Highlanders reunion when you look through at a few of the guys. He went high or low scoring. I went relatively high scoring. That's all I'll give you, though, because I do need some points, because I normally get quite bad scores. What happens if it's a draw? Normally they'll go to golden point or extra time in this case. Yes, next player's arrived. Says White and you're in there, but now Glasgow making their way out onto the field. Yeah, they are in that dark strip The black and then a little bit of the blue trim. The crowd always show up at Scotstoun. They really do support this side. And you can understand why. They're right near the top of the table. They are the top seed and they have a chance of going all the way here. We got the question about the kickoff in terms of where it is going to be going as well. I'm going to go that one. I'm going to go on that zone. Lock it in. I'll probably get it wrong. I'll take Glasgow 42-24. Says Studs Raising Connacht by 18. Says Lawless. And there as well. Do also let me know. I don't think this is a question that is running, but it might be, so I'll be careful with what I say. But do let me know who you think will score the first try of this contest as well, ladies and gentlemen. Both sides are just lined up out there on the field. Seems like they're going to be kicking off maybe a little bit later than first anticipated by only 1 or 2 minutes. But I think this is possibly a moment's silence that they are going to be having. So while they are having the moments of silence, we are going to be showing you who is off the bench. Glasgow, they have got Hiddleston, Sutherland and Talakai as their front row. The man's name who I always struggle to say, I think it is Oguntebeju as that number 19, with Fetty as the 20, Vailanu 21. So they've gone the 6-2 split here. The Glasgow Warriors with Oliver and Smith as the back replacements here for Connacht. It is Heffernan, Dooley and Bielam as the front row replacements. Joyce and O'Brien alongside Devine, Gavin and also Norton as that number 23. Looking at recent form again, both of these sides coming into this contest, they've won their last 2. Connacht needed some bonus points, and that is exactly what they were able to do in their matches. And it is exactly what they will be planning to do here. Score at least the 4 tries. That would be the equivalent of the bonus point. But get the victory. That is the main thing. Hey guys, mash that like button if you're not if you're new to the channel. Why not subscribe? It's true honor to meet you on YouTube, Hamish. May you go from strength to strength. May you be protected, Hamish. Says Mohadeen, that's much nicer than you put yesterday when you said you were suing me, Mohadeen. But yeah, it is good to see you once more. Hope you're excited for the upcoming fixture. How does extra time and goal kicking shootout affect our original Subaru 80-minute picks? Says Craig Stevens. That is a very good question that hopefully one of the guys from Next Play will be able to answer for me. But I'd assume that if it's a draw, whoever's closest to the draw would get the points. Maybe. Or it might be whatever the full-time score is, you get the points. I'd assume it would be that one, but Ioane kicks this one off long. And, that one's debatable whether or not it went in the zone that I picked, but it is going to be in the hands of the Glasgow Warriors. You see Glasgow's home stat, they have lost 2 times at home in the last 3 URC seasons. That's incredible, which is exactly why, knock on there from Sione Tuipulotu early on. Connacht with the counter-attacking chance here with Ioane. He cuts through. He's tackled by Josh Mackay, his old teammate. Now short side again, moving this ball on. And a big start here for Connacht in terms of the positioning. We'll have more questions. You can just adjust your score prediction as we go. But for slightly less points, says Omar there. Ioane almost piercing through. He's gone for the risky offload. He's thrown it forward to go back for the penalty advantage. I see here is chat as well on the app. When did you start with this, Hamish? I can't remember hearing you talk about this. So the only reason I haven't talked about it a massive amount throughout the last couple of weeks is because I haven't really known how to do it. But I will mention I am not actually affiliated with Next Play per se. Like, it's not like a sponsored deal or anything. I'm also not like a founding member. These guys are out of Auckland University and trying to mix it up a little bit in terms of the live prediction space. But yeah, it's like the interactive side of things of games to keep everyone on their toes that we are doing throughout this weekend. Connacht 30, Glasgow 29. That would be a good game if that's the case. Line out here for Connacht. Now trying to get the rolling maul going now. Seems like it's going to be a decent old chance to try and get this one moving in the right direction in the hands of Dylan Turney-Martin. It's still moving forward slightly. No, they're going to go with a back line instead. Now dropping the head is the big man Bundyaki. Now pick and go here, popping it back up very close to the try line. Pick and go again from Connacht. They're only a couple metres out from the try line. It's a very small stadium, yeah, and that is one of the reasons why they were looking at other options for where they are going to be able to host that final if they make it. Now Glasgow, they are having to defend on their own goal line. It is something that they do extremely well. But how long can they hold off for? Connacht are the team in form. It looks like Tony Martin again is going to go with a pick and go. He is over the line. Is he held up? Yes, he is. He's held up. So, oh no, the ball was out the back. Frustration there for Darren Murray, who was going, no, we weren't trying to ground it. We were just getting another phase set. I think Tony Martin feels he scored that one too. So I don't know whether or not they'll check it or whether they will just go, you know what? Goal line dropout, 7,500 seats, says Lewis Smith. And we have got there about it being a very close game for Mujahideen's prediction, but goal line dropout from Glasgow Warriors. Connacht still getting that attack going. Anyone who is just joining in now, you can still join in on the quiz, the live one, taking place throughout this match for a chance to win some prizes. That's nicely taken by Dylan Turney Martin again. A lot of early carries for that man. Moving away to the right-hand side. Bundy Aki, inside pass from Connacht, whose backline just seems to go from strength to strength. Throughout recent weeks, that was close to a knock-on from Ben Murphy. Ioannis, he's just going to be short of the line once more, about half a metre out. Chance to pass it across. It looked like they missed the initial carry option, but it's still there. And still the chance for Connacht to be able to strike first in this match. Now Turney Martin pops the ball up. That's close and it's over, and Connacht score. The underdogs getting on the board early. And I think it's the big man, Darren Murray. No, it's not. It's Kian Prendergast who's been able to score. Ioane is on fire here. He has been phenomenal throughout the early stages of this game, Josh Ioane. He has found gaps. The only thing he did wrong was that offload, but then from there, they already had the penalty advantage. But the try there was Kian Prendergast, the captain of this Connacht side, leading from the front and having a good old crack. But now, I will mention there is the conversion attempt, so you are able to put where you think that kick is going to be going. They've actually already taken the kick. There was a very quick one. And we have got there, hi Ham, how's it going? See you, Sergio. Doing very well. I'm excited to see what happens now because the underdog are ahead. Glasgow letting a 10 run like that is dangerous, says Studs Race. Definitely for a side in Glasgow who are normally so good at shutting down that little channel between the 9 and 10. This one's going to be kicked downfield again. And it is put into touch. I am still on 0 points. At the moment, I've had 3 predictions, got them all wrong. We have got, also my answers are going to mud already. Yeah, mine too. Although, like I mentioned earlier on, you can get more points as it progresses. Like there'll be questions near the end of the game worth like 15, 20,000 points. So definitely, like, no matter what, you're still in it. Even if you're like me and terrible at predictions. Going off to the left-hand side now for the Glasgow Warriors, who have got themselves the penalty advantage, sitting about 38 metres from the line. Dempsey now moving forward. Now Connacht passing it back there. Nice take from Glasgow Warriors. George Horn across to the left. They are just outside of that 22 currently. George Horn again moves it back right. Schickerling. Great low tackle made on him. And also the prize will be merch from the team of your choice. Says White and Yor. There will be, I think, for their sake, I'll say there will be a slight budget cap on it, just like normally the players have the salary cap, but I'm not sure what that budget cap will be as of yet. I know that on the later live streams of the weekend, there is potentially a kit getting given away as well from the next play guys. But the penalty, they will go back now for the penalty for Glasgow to be able to kick it towards the sideline. Captain's try, only 11 points to go to plus 18. Says Lawless. And good evening, says Kyle Julius. Welcome in. That one has been put into touch by Glasgow. If they manage to win this line out, they will have some much needed territory on that little bit closer to the line. Now, line out here. There's going to be Johnny Matthews. The line out throw. That man has scored a few rolling maul tries throughout his time. Nicely taken. The line out from Alex Samuel. This one being well defended though. I actually got myself 1,000 points there, believe it or not. Now there is the penalty advantage and the penalty awarded. To be very careful here, Connacht. The last thing that they can afford to do after getting such a great start is to end up with a yellow card or something like that. It would be absolutely brutal for them. One's going to be booted into touch again. And this one will be about 5 metres out from the opposition line. Glasgow, they're a pretty handy rolling maul team. This morning I tried to tell you I was going to a wedding and it was Daniel sent his wedding obvious prayers. I know a Daniel, although that Daniel hasn't been married just yet. Even though I think Daniel's girlfriend would like to have had that marriage thing happen by now. Now George Horn going off to the left-hand side. Rory Darsh about 3 metres out from the line. Horn pops the ball up again. Oh, bit of a play on the breakdown from Kian Prendergast. 3 metres out from the line. Bundy Aki trying to steal it. And the breakdown still making their way forward here. Glasgow. Question is, what way are they going to go? Do they keep it in the forwards or do they chuck it out in the backs? Now moving it on nicely. Schickerling. George Horn looking off to the left-hand side once more. Still short. Darsh. If I pay if I join the game? No, it doesn't cost anything. It's free completely to be able to play it. And also, if you win, they will ship it free of charge too. Now another penalty advantage. Darge just short of the line. It's ripped away by Connacht. So they'll go back now for the penalty again. This is now getting towards the warning stage here for Connacht. They've given away far too many penalties on their own goal line and inside of their 22. Not that they see me winning this, but do I have to pay for postage till I'm up in the UK? You will not have to. They'll probably end up, what will happen is you end up exchanging emails and then they'll probably ship it out of the UK, whichever kit you decide, or not kit, sorry, whatever piece of merch you decide on. Like they'll get it from Rugby Shop UK or something like that, depending on where it is. But it worked out very well for them on the Super Rugby one because someone from Auckland won it. So, Super Rugby merch, very easy to send there. Now going off to the left-hand side, Matt Ferguson, only 2 metres out from the try line now. Horn decides to go short side, dropping the head here. I'm looking at Kyle Rowe, mainly because I picked the number 11 to score the next try. On away to the right. Now getting close to the line is Scott Cummings. Still waiting for that big chance. Connacht's goal line defence has been very strong with the exception of those advantages going against them. George Horn looking to shift it on out to Johnny Matthews. They haven't decided to use their back line yet. Horn did a big jump towards the try line but was dragged down just half an inch short. But that looked like he was going to be in for all money. Cummings turned onto his back and twisted away from the line. Who is it going to be for Glasgow if they do cross that try line? Now another pick and go. That is very close. 1 metre short. Schickerling is Horn with him. He's going to go himself. He's got it down, the big number 1. And they have scored now, the Glasgow Warriors. It is Patrick Schickerling. Tell you what, they're not making it easy for us in terms of these props and these loose forwards scoring the tries. Normally you'd think it would be like a back who would get themselves the try. We haven't seen that as of yet, though. The Ospreys number 11. So here's Kyle Julius. Why playing bad now, Connacht? I think the pressure has just started to get in terms of into their own 22. We know that Connacht have been very dangerous on attack. To be fair, the defence has been solid, but I feel like Glasgow's tempo that they're playing at now has just put them under that little bit more pressure. I think I need a lesson on how to scan a QR code on the phone. I'm actually watching the stream on. Not enough tech or too much. Says Studs Race. So the pin comment will take you to the same thing as the QR code. So that's how I did it on my phone. I just went through the pin comment. George Horn lining up the kick. Oh, and he does get it over. So that will make the score now 7-all between these two teams after the first 10 minutes. It has been a frantic pace so far in the best possible way. We can see there at the moment, Elliot, he's actually leading. He's one of the next play guys. I'm not sure who's the judge. Who's got that nickname? Ladies and gents. I actually got that one right. I'm in 5th now, ladies and gents. Now Josh Ioane kicking that one off. And nicely taken there by Jack Dempsey. Big collision with would have been Josh Murphy. Now George Horn told to use it from inside of his 22. He will look to bump this one downfield, but not towards the touchline. Slapped back now by Connacht. They've got the ball back with Turney Martin. Away to the left-hand side. Took a little while to get that ball out of the breakdown, but Connacht have so many attacking threats. In terms of the way that they're setting up, they've got about 3 or 4 guys who can break the line. Ioane just stepping around people for fun at the moment. He's had the dream start to this contest. Flat ball from Connacht. Goes into the hands of Sam Ilo. Is that little bit further forward. Now Ben Murphy passes across to the left-hand side. Big collision with Sione Tuipulotu. I dropped to 7th. Things going sour now with me in predictions, although you can still get way further forward because there is your score predictions worth 10,000 points. There's a knock-on, though. Oh, no, in fact, sorry, forward pass from Connacht there, which does mean Glasgow have got themselves the scrum feed. I don't think you can count Connacht out of this game as of yet. Why Storm is playing Saturday. Normally they play Friday night, says Mohaddin. I think it's just the way that it's worked out. But yeah, we're going to see Bulls versus Munster as that earlier game that has taken place on the Saturday for you guys in South Africa. It does take place at 11 p.m. New Zealand time. And then Storm is straight afterwards at that 1:30 a.m. The judge is me, Grant from South Africa. So you're doing all right at the moment. You've got some... How do you get that specific of points? Because Adam's got the same. I must have gotten that one wrong, I would think. But me and Fleshen are on the same. We're neck and neck currently. Right on the heels. Now, chance here for George Hornell, and there is another one. First drive after 13 minutes. Where is it going to end? Hang on. I want to put it in the right spot. So that is as in, where is this next tackle going to be completed, ladies and gentlemen, just for a little bit of clarification. I think that's what it means anyway. Now running for George Horn up to Sione Tuipulotu. He's still moving. And hey, Hamish, how you doing, brother? Says Gray, doing very well. These two sides, they are neck and neck currently, although this is actually the same scoreline as we saw between the Crusaders and the Hurricanes before the game got completely cut open by the Satyr side. Johnny Matthews looks for the offload on the outside, can't quite get it there. And it's going to go back for another penalty. Oh, okay, referee's getting aggressive here. Yellow card out for Sam Elo. He did say that next time they give away a penalty down this end of the field, someone is going to the bin, and that is exactly what has happened for the big tight head prop. That is a worrying sign for an underdog here. You need your 15 players on the field, and the fact that they are now down to only having the 14 means that there'll be more gaps for this Glasgow Warriors team to be able to try and cut through. But Elo, he will get a bit of time off the field. Another line-out chance here with Johnny Matthews. From 14 minutes and a half, who will get inside of the opposition 22. Although that one everyone should get because Glasgow already in the 22 at the time that they took that one. So it looks like everyone will get a few points. Maybe they did that on purpose just to make everyone feel better. They may have seen that we were struggling. Now going off to the right-hand side. Backline movement here. Big driving tackle from Bundy Arki. But Kyle Rowe running on the outside. Gives it off to the other Kyle and Kyle Stain. They're trying to hold him up there. Now going off to the left-hand side. Moving it on. Sione Tuipulotu. Good draw and pass out to Matthews. But Connacht. This will be so fatiguing for them as well. Now going away to the right. And the prediction stuff is not for me. More fun to get surprised by randomness of the game. Of course, I say that as a gambler, says Studs Race. But now another penalty conceded. This is where Connacht could find themselves going down to 13. Hamish, why did you recommend to the developers to add a prediction when the next hashtag ball grab will happen for 20k points? Well, hopefully not many testicles will be grabbed. Definitely not in this game. Maybe we've got to wait for that Bulls Munster one before we see any sort of, I was going to say testicular tickling, but that sounds a bit rough, doesn't it? Now, 5 metres out from the line. Do you think the Stormers win tomorrow? They should do, but Cardiff did take them down in the last match. So they have the mental edge per se, but then the Stormers will want the redemption. Now rolling ball here, just short of the try line, moving forward nicely, and they are over, or are they? Yes, they are. There's a grounding clearly for Johnny Matthews, and Glasgow get themselves their second of the match. Johnny Matthews, he was utterly gobsmacked at the fact that the referee hadn't awarded his try when he was lying over the line with the ball in his hands with no one touching him. I would love to know where everyone is commenting from. I'm from South Africa. So here's Craig there. But it's another try for Johnny Matthews. Does score them for fun. I think they're just going upstairs here to make sure that it was a legal try. Looked like it was dragged down initially. But I think Johnny Matthews managed to keep his feet underneath him. Calgary and Canada. Oh, okay. We've got a stoppage here to check to see if this was the same maul or whether he did break away. There you go on your Warriors, says Lewis Smith. So I will mention that currently they have got the question going on of... Oh, okay. It's going to be no try, so they'll probably cancel that question, I would think. We have the Island myself, and this game is on free-to-air TV. Truck and trailer for me, but hardly ever gets called these days, and it sounds like they're actually going to. The TMO seems like he is going to be calling this as the truck and trailer. Okay. They were just making sure it was down legally as well in terms of that maul, rather than someone dragging it down in a legal way. Right. Is the ref going to give this? It was legally down. Okay, so it is going to be no try, ladies and gentlemen. So it is Matt Ferguson who has been penalised, so that one will be cancelled again. What are the Stormers playing? Or who do the Stormers play if they win? So for the Stormers, they will be facing up against the winner of the Lions versus Leinster match. 1 second, I'll go like that. There you go. Yeah, so Lions or Leinster would be who the Stormers face. If it is Leinster, it will be at the Aviva. Oh, off the side of the boot there for Sam Gilbert. Didn't get the maximum metres that he would have been after, but still, it is the line out for Connacht. And then if it is the Lions, then the Stormers would be at home. So, yeah, they're either going to be home or away next week. It's going to be a big travel, though, if they have to go up to the Aviva. Now, nicely taken. Now, Archie. It's the ball up again, truck and trailer. It's been a minute since I've seen that blow up. Says the Grey 619. Now, onto the halfway line. Glasgow looking to run this one forward. Oh, Fleshin, you got a big boost there. You must have got the line out one right. I wasn't quick enough with my answer. Now George Horn going away to the left-hand side. Xander Ferguson pops it up to Matt again. Sione Tuipulotu on the short side. Dempsey carries hard. That's how everything in the UK. Says Brendan there. Okay, they've said that there was no foul play in that motion of the player dipping down. Now backline again for Glasgow to look to shovel it to the hands of their winger, Kyle Rowe. Long way off his left wing in this scenario, but he's dragged down by Josh Ioane, who once again started off this match with a hiss and a roar, the way that he was able to play in the first 5 or so minutes. But since then, they haven't really had a huge amount of the possession, Connacht. They'll be getting fatigued from the amount of defending that they've had to do. Ball on the inside. Sione Tuipulotu. It was an awkward-looking tackle there. And yep, says Fleshin for the line. Good morning. I've been up since 2 a.m., says Fortnight. Nice early morning. Well, is that an early morning start for you or a late night finish? Fortnight there. As always, we'll take revenge, Cardiff, on DHL Newlands Cape Town. Well, the interesting thing is neither of the sides have ever lost at home to each other. It's always been if you're at home, you win that game. So I feel like we might get that again in terms of the playoffs. The one that might be a bit more 50-50 could be Bulls Munster. That one's going to be unclaimed by Sam Gilbert. And ball is loose all over the place. That is playing it on the ground from Shane Jennings. Should have probably been a stoppage there with the knock on anyway. Where's the Aviva Stadium? In Ireland. So they would have to travel up north to be able to take part in that one. We have the I'm not a kicker. Do kickers aim for upper or lower zones to convert? I'm guessing higher. Depends on where the kick is. Like, it's going to be tricky to get a kick to go high enough if you're close by. Like, in terms of getting it higher than the bottom half. But if you're far out, normally it just depends on your distance. That's a brilliant attack and run for from Murphy. But again, a great tackle from Sione Tuipulotu. Horn managed to somehow get the turnover and the breakdown as well. But then Connacht taking the ball straight back. Now on the side of Connacht around the halfway line. Okay, there would be a huge upset if Connacht can knock Glasgow over, says Great. It certainly would be. So we want Connacht to win, Hamish? For the Stormers, they would want, or actually, no, sorry, for the Bulls, they would want Connacht to win, because that would mean that the Bulls don't have to travel to Glasgow where they have already lost this season. Looking for the steal there. Connacht told to get out of it. I went to sleep at 11 p.m. Last night, woke up at 2 a.m. It's a quick fire nap, isn't it? 21 minutes through. Still 7-all. Between these two sides, it is staying extremely close. Kicked into touch, or not quite actually. It is going to stay in the field of play now. A great step from Josh Ioane. If Connacht do make it far, it would be probably down to the way that man has been playing. Consistent phases for Connacht inside of the 22. Now offload again out the back for Gilbert. Now Jennings, again, long way off his wing. He has gone to the far side of the field. Connacht going to have it rough, playing into the sun in the second half. Says Suds raise, and Glasgow just get a crucial steal. I think you're top of the leaderboard at the moment. Share your secrets with us, says Ander. That man knows his lineouts, is what I'll say. He got a big boost from that one. We've got a few people who are still in the running. Of course, even if you don't have any points as of yet, you do still actually have a chance of catching up due to either the score prediction, which you can go into my plays and give an updated one, I believe. But then also there are still plenty more questions worth a lot of points. Anyone who hasn't joined, it is that link in the pinned comment. If you click on there or scan the QR code that pops up here every once in a while, it will take you over to the Next Play website. And then you'll be able to put in a name, join the competition, and see whether or not you can take everyone else down. When is the next live stream after this? Next one after this will be tonight, Blues versus Chiefs, which is happening at 7:05 New Zealand time. Pure luck is the answer from Fleshin. Right. Where is this drive going to end? I'm going to go about there. We hope for the best, and we will lock it in. We have there. If they lose, are they out? Whoever loses this game's gone. Finished in the competition, unfortunately. Do they need bonus point? No bonus points in playoff rugby. It's just pretty much you go in there and you try and win. And if you win, you get to go on to the semi-finals. Now, big run forward from Shane Bolton. He's really been absent throughout the first 23 minutes or so, or at least from the names that I've been saying, but that doesn't mean he hasn't touched the ball, of course. They're just checking to see if there was foul play against a Connacht player. Ioane going for the 50-22. It's just outside. I think they're just going to be checking this one as well. Shouldn't you mix that vodka with something? Says the grade 619. And any sevens today? A little bit. There'll be a few sevens games scattered in around the place here and there. There is an injury at the moment, so while they are checking on that injury, they are also going to be checking on whether or not that was a 50-22. To me, it looked like it was just outside of that 22-metre line. I'm going to lock in an option in the line out. Never in history so much rested on Connacht's shoulders. Yeah, a lot of people are backing Connacht to be able to do the underdog story in that regard. The line out just about to take place here. And it has turned into a 50-22. By the looks of it, they're actually going to show up from the behind angle as well. So it was an awkward bouncy one. Managed to get it to almost leapfrog over the man at the back who was defending for Glasgow. It went just beside him, in fact. The line out. They've gone. Tell you what, that might have been close to the number that I picked there. Now going away to the left-hand side. Oh, no, I got it wrong. Or did I? No, maybe not. We'll wait and see. Now going away to the left-hand side. It's a drop ball from Connacht on the attack. Miss Wayman was the try. Withdrawn it was due to obstruction from Matt Fagerson. Got himself out in front. I hope Connacht wins, says Jared. Is that because you like Connacht or because you want an easier or an easier but not really easier game for a South African side, Jared? Because I don't know if I want to play Connacht in a semi-final with the way they've been going. Definitely if they were able to beat the top of the table seed. And I'm in first place with 1680, we'll try that again. 16,850 overtaken flesh in there. I'm still on 6,000. I've been there for a while. But we will move at some stage, hopefully. When you're playing golf and cricket, me and Isaac, I think, are going for a hit on Monday. With a little bit of luck. Our ball is going to be fed in here. George Horn. Way to the left-hand side. It looks like they're going to try and run this one out here, the Glasgow Warriors. They are charging forward now, moving forward. Kyle Steyn, as they break through, goes for the grubber, and that ball just stays in the field of play, but it's jumped on by Connacht. Or is it? What have they worked out? I think it's going to be a Glasgow line-out. They wanted to take that ball quickly. Oh, no. Pass was forward. So in the end, the decision is going to be that it will be I think it's going to be the scrum rather than the line out here. It was a great run from Kyle Steyn. The grubber was solid. But yeah, in terms of cricket won't be happening for another few months. How can you kick that? So many support runners there. Starts raising. Yeah, it seemed like a weird choice, didn't it? Connacht win suits South Africa. Kind of, yeah. Because it does mean that the South African side and the Stormers, for the Bulls would then get to play at home rather than heading to Scotland. It's rude to doubt the Bulls, what would Aino think? I just love Bundyaki, says Jared. And yeah, this is a good matchup, to be fair, in terms of Bundyaki versus Sione Tui Pelotu. Two guys that we're seeing at international level go toe-to-toe many times. We have you there. I chose a draw on Subaru. I'm winning so far, says Craig. Yeah, well, to be fair, you are. Yeah, you got the correct one, but you just need it to stay this way now. He didn't even look at the four teammates running either side of him. So no work next week for you. Well, Monday for us is King's birthday, like the long weekend. But I think I'm going to be pouring concrete on about Wednesday or Thursday, which will be fun. But now Jennings can't quite finish the tackle on Kyle Rowe as this URC quarterfinals. It is indeed, yes. So I will show you, Johnny, just while we're at it. There you go. Those are the way that the brackets sit. So the winner of this game will face the winner of Bulls versus Munster. That is taking place at 11 p.m. tonight. Then from there, Stormers or Cardiff will face Leinster or the Lions. Now George Horn. This is one downfield. He tries to slap that one back. Sam Gilbert. Let's go. Have that ball on their side, though. Now Horn. Moving away to the right. Johnny Matthews moves it on again. The short ball to Stafford McDowell. Now Matt Fagerson. Still looking to make those meters at the moment for the Glasgow Warriors, which they have been able to do efficiently throughout this game. Dempsey almost tries to hurdle over Shane Jennings. Just losing their footing. I will mention that we have seen Connacht back to the 15 men on the field for a little while now, but if they give away any more penalties in this area of the field, they could find themselves going back down to less than that 15 once more. Johnny Matthews tries to spin. Held on to by Darren Murphy. What's happened there? Matt Fagerson, I think, fell on his face, which was not ideal. But he has got back up. That's the main thing. George Horn going away to the right-hand side here again. The ball was out of the breakdown, says the referee. Repeated phases here for the Glasgow Warriors. Matt Fagerson. They aren't leading as of yet. In this case, they're trying to milk the penalty advantage. George Horn has got on a man's back. And was almost riding him in that case, but now away to the right. That one's loose. Picked up by Connacht, and it's Josh Ioane with a bunch of speed. Kyle Steyn manages to chase him down, but Connacht get inside of the opposition 22. I think I might have got points for that. But now going away to the right-hand side. Murphy, sniping run round the back from the halfback. He's been absolutely clattered by the big man, Alex Samuel. They'll have to check that contact because it looked like he tried to decapitate him. But now left-hand side. I got 3,000 points for that one. The King's birthday, says Flesh. And yeah, we have like King's birthday weekend where you have like the Monday off. I was having a conversation with someone though. I don't know if it's the actual King's birthday or it's just the day they decided on. Because I think it used to be Queen's birthday, but it wasn't actually her birthday either. I think it's like the day they get inaugurated the first time, but I'm not sure. Someone will know. I wonder if any of these fellas did any history for their degrees. Maybe. Someone might tell me. But now, ball's there, and it's on the side of the Glasgow Warriors. Changed my mind, says Fleshin. I'll be honest, I clicked Connacht and then the Glasgow Warriors about 5 times in that scenario and then went with Connacht in the end, which I think was the right choice in the end. Let's go the underdogs. Let's go Connacht, said Johnny Blaze. And does it go for extra time? Yep. If they were drawn at the end of this game, they would go to extra time. And what do you think of the Crusaders? They doing well? They're doing very nicely. And that game between the Blues and the Chiefs, that will definitely impact a lot in terms of will the Blues get third or will they finish as low? I can actually, like, no joke, finish as low as 5th, I think. Did you get some sun? I was in the sun at one point, but I don't think I'm like sunburnt or very red. It's just the lighting. I haven't quite worked out this lighting yet because it makes me pale at 1 second and then the next second it like lights up massively. Thank God we don't do that here, says Fleshin. Oh, for the King's birthday one. And that tackle must have been okay. Looked bad at the time. Yeah, looked like he smashed into his almost head, didn't it? Sharjil has moved into number 1. I'm proud of that man. He was actually originally going to be playing as me. I should have accepted the offer, knowing that he was going to end up in first for now. What about the Prince of Wales' birthday? That's when we strip in South Africa. Says cool story. Now loose ball picked up by Connacht. Nice run from Murphy. Let's get wrestled into touch. What was that for? I got something right, and I got 5,000 points for it. Oh, it was a line out. I picked who was going to be receiving the ball in the line out. I'm now in first place. Take a screenshot because that's not going to last long. Now, 21 minutes. Oh, no, sorry, 31 minutes. Throw in this contest. Sam Gilbert. Now sitting here with another attacking chance for the Connacht boys. This coming Monday, the 1st of June, is a bank holiday. It's for religious reasons or something like that. Says Hori. Now across. Still Connacht looking to find that next pass. Ioane with the bounce, although just the drop ball out wide for Seamus Hurley-Langdon. Had to hang on to that one, but wasn't quite able to here in Ireland, says Hori. Now 8 minutes remaining in this first half. It is still very close. Either of these sides can take this match, ladies and gents. Glasgow, that disallowed try. It seems like that was where their momentum really did halt. But we know that Connacht are only 1 or 2 penalties away from giving away another yellow card. It's more than likely what Glasgow will be working on. Now that one goes into touch. The advantage is now called as over. I realize I should change my score prediction because you are able to do that, I believe, at some stage. I think it's at halftime that you can change it. And I think I need to because I win a really high-scoring game and this has been anything but high-scoring between these two teams. 7 minutes now remaining in the first half. We'll mention anyone who is new to the channel. Of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to join in terms of the live prediction, as you can see down there is a leaderboard. Somehow I am in first. It is the pin comment. Be sure to chuck that on. Have a few predictions. It will let you watch the stream at the same time as well. So it is pretty easy to get involved in the action. Well, that was almost another drop ball from Connacht there. Now wait to the left-hand side. Currently looking to get this attack going. Bundyark here with a pass on the outside. That ball's going to be dropped. And where's Haino, says Mohadeen. Oh, he was actually going to the Bulls game. Oh, penalty awarded. A bit of ill discipline there from Connacht by the sounds of it. Got them in a little bit of trouble. It's almost messed up with that draw, says Cool Story. Who was that against in the end? That was that Connacht that they drew with? Or was Connacht the one that beat them in the end? Now 6.5 minutes. There's going to be Johnny Matthews here. And it is thrown to the back, nicely taken by Matt Fagerson. Oh, big high shot. I don't think Ioane meant to, but he did come in pretty upright. It was Ulster, wasn't it? In Ulster, right? Now moving it out the right-hand side, George Horn. This one's just going to be situated there. About 35 out. Pick and go from Horn. Can't quite get through. Cummings pops the ball up. Xander Fagerson. This time it is knocked on by the Glasgow Warriors. Scrum feed now for Connacht once again. A little bit of push and shove here at the line out as well. Okay, it seems like both sides are now going to be called over by the referee. The captains are getting told that their sides are misbehaving. Okay, referee's just said, don't stand over the player and scream in his face when your team's won a penalty or you've won an advantage. We're over there. Hi, everybody, says Bruce. Welcome in, Bruce. Hope you are doing very well. Only 35 minutes through this game, and it is still 7 apiece between these two teams. This first half has flown by. And yeah, it's that big shot coming in from Bundy Arki. And yeah, then he did try and slightly fire up the opposition. That's scrum now. They're talking about the player of the match nominations already. I think Josh Ioane's name definitely has to go into the hat. Oh, referee, time has been turned back on now. Coach is looking nervous for both sides in this scenario, I'm sure. Glasgow's coach not showing a single emotion other than just stoic. Glasgow Warriors supporters in the stands, they are loving the action thus far, although they'll love another try, I would say, before the end of this first half. They did have that disallowed one earlier on in the contest. And now another scrum. And Connacht, 25 metres out from their line. Hope floats. Oh no, another scrum reset. I'd say we're probably only one scrum reset away from someone getting a penalty here. More than likely. Now they are showing the Connacht coach as well. They did show Glasgow's before. I think he'll feel he's well and truly in this game. To be honest, the side have not budged at times. And defensively, there have been many times where Glasgow, you could almost argue, should have scored, but weren't quite able to because of either the last pass or a very crucial tackle that was made by the Connacht side as well. Now Ben Murphy. Is this scrum going to hold strong? It certainly does. It's a good push from Glasgow Warriors. That ball only just coming out the back for Paul Boyle. Let's go told to let him go. Now looking for the steal and the breakdown, although I don't think they quite moved out of there in time. I know, no referee gives the penalty against Glasgow. Connacht will be able to kick this one towards the touchline. Cummings is not happy with it. 3 minutes now remain in this first half. One second, we'll go like this. And we'll go like that too. That one's going to go into touch. Now 3 minutes. Another line out for this Connacht side, looking to get the attack going. I think was there another question in regards of who's going to visit the opposition 22? There was. It is in the pending section in the My Place. So if Connacht move forward a little bit more, might get myself some bonus points. Now, Bundy Arki. You still have a wee way to go before they get to that 22-metre line, though. If the Stormers want to win, their discipline needs to be good. says Jared. Now, picked up again. Uh-oh. This looks like a serious injury here for Ben Murphy. He does not look in a good way. Oh, we've got a question coming through. What will the halftime score be? Is anyone bold enough to say that we're going to have some more points scored by one of these two sides, or are we taking the safe option? Oh, that's a tricky one, actually, because I feel like I'm going to go risky because I don't think I can win the prize anyway, so I might as well try and get all the points in that regard. So, yeah, be sure to lock in your halftime score predictions in there too. I'm currently in second. I've got to get some more points on the board. Ow, oh, that knee bent weird. I thought that he was concussed, but no, it's because his knee was bent in an awkward manner that he's fine now. I don't know how he's been able to recover there. 7-10 to Connacht, says Thuds Race. I did that as well, Thuds Race. Great minds think alike. Scrum feed here for Connacht. They'll be about 40 metres out from the line if the Stormers want to win. Their discipline does need to come up a little bit more than it has been in the past. Now Murphy. I am still surprised that he was able to recover from that knee getting twisted underneath the breakdown as quickly as he was. Don't get me wrong, he still looks like he's a little bit ginger on it, but it seems like he's going to be happy to continue, at least for now. Now going away to the right-hand side here. Murphy moves it on to Iwani. George Horn, though, straight on the ball, and he wins the penalty for Glasgow again. We have got there. If you're new, be sure to join the next play prediction quiz through the link in the pinned comment. Prizes up for grabs, says White and Yor. Yeah, so if you do win it, no matter where you are in the world as well, I should mention, these guys are going to be shipping it out. So, yeah, if you're in South Africa, you can still win it. If you're in the UK, New Zealand, Australia, where else is a country? Fiji, they'll get it to you in Fiji. Although it is currently 7:30 a.m. in Fiji, so it's quite an early start, similar to us here in New Zealand. Watching on Irish TV, but listen to your commentary because I don't speak Irish, says Hillary there. Now, nice take again. And the line out. And George Horn back across to the right. Currently the way that it does sit. Oh no, little grubber attempted in behind. Connacht inside of their 22. They decide that they're going to try and run it back forward. They've got 20 seconds before the halftime break. As our Everton hello, and this game is going to be epic. Yeah, the second half is going to be a lot of fun for these two teams. And I think Connacht would be the happiest side heading into the halftime break because they have been able to take a lot of what Glasgow have thrown at them and haven't really taken a backward step. Now kicking it into touch for Ben Murphy. And that is going to be the end of the first half, ladies and gentlemen. 7 points each in this first URC quarterfinal. Now, there is a part of me that hopes, even though some of the games are supposed to be slightly one-sided, that they all end up this close. Because that would be epic for the upcoming matches. Yeah, I got the halftime score prediction wrong too. I went with 10-7. Fleshin got it right though, I do see. He got the nice little boost in that regard. I just had a toilet break and missed a question, says Fleshin. Yeah, the lineouts are tricky. They go by very quick, but they're worth a lot of points too. If Connacht win Bulls, I can make the final, says Cool Story. I think quiz will run till the end of the game, says White and Yor. Now we've got the question, what will the full-time score be? I'm locking it in. I don't know how much control I have, but I think for the start of the second half, we should make things interesting and chuck a 10,000 pointer out there for what number jersey scores the first try. We'll wait and see if that happens. I don't. It's probably very difficult to just add in a random question that wasn't initially going to be part of it. So I'm making their job even more difficult than getting them up at 5 a.m. But Connacht, they were able to score that early try with Kian Prendergast. Alongside that, we did see the try from almost Johnny Matthews, but It was actually Patrick Schickerling who has scored the one try for the Glasgow Warriors. Probably a bit of a unpredictable situation in terms of the props being the ones we were able to cross the line. There we go. We've got to pick the player for 10,000 points. I feel all official now that I've been able to get that one. So for either side, if you pick the player who scores, you get yourself 10,000 points. That could change the game completely. So be sure to lock in your player. You've got about 15 seconds. In fact, no, the timer may not. Oh, no, you've got 6 seconds. That's quick. Hopefully everyone gets their predictions in. If Connacht win, Bulls could make the final. They absolutely could. And game really tightening up in the second 20 minutes, says Suds Race. Yeah, it seemed a little bit at times loose in that first 20. We saw, Josh Ioane, he was carving through absolutely everything. Oh, the Pole Sport one's not worth, the next player one's not worth any points. We'll go like that, though. There we go. But anyone who does want to join, seeing as it is half-time, the way that you do it is the pinned comment. It is a bit of a trial that we are doing this weekend. I will mention I am in no way affiliated with the Next Play guys. They are from Auckland University, all much smarter than myself, mainly because they like sleeping at night time. But, yeah. Oh, I got it wrong. In terms of the most popular one. But, yeah. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it and you've got the chance of being able to get it. I think I locked in an impossible scoreline. Says Flishin. If you are closest, though, you will still get the points, I believe, in terms of that scoreline. But I have been given the, question from the higher-ups. And it says, could you ask the viewers who joined the game but didn't play why they didn't play? So anyone who has got their name down, just because they are still in the very early stage of development, so they want as much data as they can. The thing is, they might also just have not gotten the predictions right, I have realised. But, yeah, is it because it's not working properly, or is it that it's hard to multitask? I know on phones at the moment, it makes it difficult in some regards to be able to put messages in the chat, depending on the device that you're on. But I think they're trying to work around that a little bit, but currently the quarterfinal of this game, or the quarterfinal of the URC, we are halfway through it, and it is 7 points to 7, which is a pretty handy scoreline if you are the underdogs, Connacht. They were not anticipated to have any real chance of being able to keep Glasgow down to only 7. Don't get me wrong, Connacht were given half a chance of being able to do something in this game in terms of being competitive, but I thought it would be much higher scoring. We have got there, they wanted me to log in, etc. Just another data collection point. Says Studs Race. Is that like with the email or just the username? So the only time, I think, I could be wrong, of course, but I think the only time you've got to put an email in is if you win the prize and they need to contact you. And I need to log in, you play as a guest, says Omar. Yeah, so like for me, I just wrote my name down and then I was able to do it. And then, yeah, if you win, then they need your email address to be able to send you your prize, if that makes sense. But Patrick Schickerling, the man who was able to score himself the try, he was an unlikely candidate to be able to score the first and only Glasgow try. We almost saw Johnny Matthews. They were trying to count up with 1-2, and then I guess we would have had to see Xander Fagerson get a chance to be able to cross the line as well. Second half of this one, I would say, is about 10 minutes away. For anyone wondering about the upcoming quarterfinals that are taking place, Glasgow and Connacht, of course, happening currently. The odds at the start of that game had it heavily in favour of the Glasgow Warriors. I'm actually curious. I'm going to check it right now. And the verdict is, in play currently, Connacht are $3.50 underdogs. So they've dropped themselves a little bit in terms of the overall standings. Bulls versus Munster, they are expected to get the win there, the home side, the Bulls. Storm is the same, and then Leinster, they are anticipated to win by the biggest margin of all the sides in the URC quarters. But that game, it is the last one that is going to be taking place. The winner of this game will go head-to-head with the winner of Bulls versus Munster. Stormers or Cardiff, they will face the winner of Lions versus Leinster. There is still a chance for an all-South African final. We could even see a repeat of what we saw in the inaugural URC, which was the Bulls taking on the Stormers. That one went the way of the Stormers side. We could see Leinster versus Munster. We could see Glasgow versus Leinster, the two top-seeded sides. We can see a lot happening. But the next 40 minutes definitely determines what direction it goes in terms of those quarters. We have got there. Can we win a chance to fight you in judo? I don't think that's on the prize list. The only thing I will say, if you're watching the game, listening and commenting to you and play, it's a bit hard to keep up, says Fleshin. I would agree to a certain extent. I know on the Super Rugby live stream, I really struggled to do all of them. I ended up about 10 minutes in stopping. They have done trials for other sports as well. It seems to be that it actually works quite well for UFC. Maybe we've got to do some UFC streams. I've been talking about doing them for like 4 years. Maybe I actually need to do one. I wouldn't like questions until I logged in, but no worries. I prefer being incorrect about everything in private, says Studs Race. And Oz, we're over there dark and cold in Cape Town. No rain, but very dewy and damp, says Ruth. Just looking outside. It looks very foggy here at the moment. It looks like it's pretty much completely white. And I can see one tree. But at least I can see that tree, which means it's foggy, but it's not terrible. They have got a marching band out on the field at the moment. You should do a UFC. The amount of times I've almost done one is actually, I've had maybe 10 thumbnails made for UFC streams that have never made it. I think one of the first one was going to be Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis. In fact, no, I was talking about doing them even before that stage. I think, yeah, it's been a long time maybe coming. Semi-finals, Bulls versus Connacht, says Ian Borta. Please give me your address, Hamish. Maybe not. No, I don't think that's a good idea. The Glasgow Warriors at home here. Coach will be addressing the elephant in the room, which is they are not leading at halftime. 7 points apiece between these two sides. But there is still time to get something more going. But the thing is, it's going to be one of those second half, first 10 minutes. I think that shaped this game. If Glasgow score within 10 minutes, Connacht, with the amount of tackles they had to make throughout that first half, surely they will start to slow down, start to get a little bit more fatigued. But if Connacht can just keep it close, win a couple early penalties, and put them under pressure, I think this one could go right down to the wire. The White House one, dumb concept, but must admit, got to be watched, says Studs Race. Because when is that one taking place, Studs Ray? Have they got an official date for that card as of yet? I think they also, if they announce is it the one called Freedom 2000 or 250? Taporia versus Gaethje, Pereira versus Cyril Gahn, O'Malley versus Sahabi. Josh Hockett, he's a bit of a weird one, isn't he? Going up against Derek Lewis. Okay, there's a few decent ones thrown in there by the looks of it. And then the card that might happen, tell you what, 12th of July. I'll see if George is keen because he used to be a Conor McGregor boy. So maybe we can try and do that Conor McGregor Max Holloway card. We'll see. I'll probably make the thumbnail and then I'll end up not doing it. But we'll see. If George is up for the weekend, we'll try and get it going. And at the start, you can just put a name, which is your username in the game. No email is needed throughout the game, says White and Yor. Yeah, maybe if you... Did you do it through the pin comment or the QR code in the end? That's right. I think you did it through pin comment, right? And my cats are looking for chocolate. Oh, I was about to say, isn't chocolate, doesn't that kill them? But no, that's dogs. They're not supposed to have the chocolate. At Scotstoun Stadium, they have, as someone mentioned earlier on, only lost 2 games or 3 games throughout the 3 years of the URC International Weekend. It is, but normally, those internationals aren't too bad in terms of it won't overlap with the URC. If anything, you'll probably get overtired, Hamish, for that stream, and then anything could be said. Do you think Fifini Arnofo's Red Bull contract was blocked? By the sounds of it, it was. And I've said it earlier on. New Zealand Rugby, if they've gone out there and they've stopped him from going overseas, they better be paying him what he was going to make for the Red Bulls. Because if they're not, like I mentioned about it, that man by now, he could have potentially been looking at moving. He could have been looking at houses because of the extra money that he was going to end up with. He could have bought something nice before actually getting most of the money. That's what some people end up doing, and it backfires for them. But yeah, New Zealand Rugby better give him what he was making when he was going overseas, because they've kind of stopped him from progressing financially by locking him down. Unless, of course, they give him constant moments for the All Blacks, in which case, that would be ideal for him. But yeah, it'll be intriguing. Second half of this one just about to start up. Patrick Schickerling has made his way onto the field. He's Scottish, but I keep on saying it like he's Irish. How do you Scottish Schicker? Nah, it turns Irish no matter what I try and do. But kick off here for Glasgow. Going from left to right. We are back underway. They have gone long with the kick. Down the middle of the field. A big bump off there on Kyle Steyn. Ball stays on the side of Connacht. I got that question wrong as well. Fleshing with the quick early lead in the second half. The sneaky 5,000. I don't know if anyone else got that question right. Now ready for the line out. Johnny Matthews. Almost had the try earlier on in this game. Of course, a few people would have picked. In fact, now that we've already had the question, we might as well ask, who did everyone pick as their number for who they thought was going to be able to score? I picked a 9, George Horn or Ben Murphy, to score the first try of the second half for the 10,000. Now going back across to the right-hand side. Now moving it around, actually a bit of a switch play there from the Glasgow Warriors. Looking for the steal and the breakdown, and they've managed to get it there, Connacht. I mentioned how they had to be competitive throughout this first 10 minutes, put the pressure still on this Glasgow Warriors side. Not take that backward step. Rolling it back again, Murphy. And this one down to halfway. Nicely taken by Josh Mackay. And hello guys, my first game of rugby. Greetings from Mexico. Welcome in, King of Beer. I hope you are doing extremely well. And the only thing I know for sure is that Henry Pollock has fantastic hair, says Ruth. And Sophia said, good morning, welcome in. You have had a great sleep. Currently sitting 7:47 a.m. here in New Zealand. Oh, that was an aggressive fend. Jack Dempsey just kind of slapped Ioane in the face in the process of getting dragged down. Now Horn back to the left once more. Who's it across? Looking for the piercing run with Sione Tuipolotu. These two sides, it's a tricky one to commentate at times because they've been so defensively sound. They've been going for the plays, they've been trying little tricks and whatnot, but they don't seem to be getting that break that they are after. Sam Gilbert kicking that one off the side of his boot. He was under all sorts of pressure there. My cat scratches the dirt up on top of the grave site on the property next door. Is that just a coincidence or a cat sense? It's a spooky thing to think about, isn't it? Almost Halloween, I guess. We have got there, over here in Cape Town. 1 second, we'll go like that. Here in Cape Town, it's a 9:48. Kiwi lads have won the second half attention. Have won the second half attention better than the tally. Says starter there. And I'm screaming for Connacht. They're a side that I don't think I'm saying it again. I don't know if I'd want to play them in the semis because they've been strong enough in recent times that you wouldn't put it past them to go from 8th and somehow win the thing if they continue with their form. Now, Sione Tuipolotu passes back across to Dempsey once more. That is a knock-on the ground, though. So Connacht now ready to get the attack going. Ioane, not too far from that breakdown. Average is always looking awesome. Looking very cute. Says Sophia, well, I'm very sleep deprived at the moment. So I think as the weekend progresses, the bloodshot eyes will get more and more. Now kicking this one in behind Kyle Steyn, looking for the 50-22. It's curling, and it's gone out about 2 metres from the opposition line. That is a phenomenal kick from Kyle Steyn. And now the Glasgow Warriors, they will have the line out, just out from the opposition's try line. It's that type of moment. That kick, I know that it's probably a recent niche reference that some people will understand, some won't, but David Harville's 50-22 up against the Chiefs for the Crusaders. The captain getting the kick right, that kind of had that same feeling. And I believe the Crusaders, after that moment, they well and truly took control. So I would not be one bit surprised if we see that happen again. But Matt Fagerson, I think I actually got that line out one right there, as he was the second front man. We have got the, I don't see a Xander. That was 9,000 points. Now moving forward again. It's a big opportunity to keep on rolling, although dragged down. Now back across. Xander Fagerson. George Horn goes back again. Sione, Tui Pilotu there through, and Kyle Stain, after doing what he was able to in terms of the 50-22, he goes on and scores the try not too long after. The 50-22 turned into a massive moment there for Kyle Stain. Glasgow leading for the first time in this contest. They almost had that lead earlier on, but didn't quite manage to score it with Matthews. But Kyle Stain, oh, did anyone get that right? 10,000 points if you picked a winger to be able to score that try. Doesn't look like the top two did, at least. But now it is going to make the score 14 points to 7. And Yahoo says starter there. And that Gilbert kick cost Connacht badly there, says Studs Race. Yeah, just straight off the side of the boot, wasn't it? Lost them all sorts of gaining in terms of meterage. Hiddleston, he will make his way on. That is for Johnny Matthews. But now line out. No, sorry, not line out. Kickoff, I should say. Johnny Matthews, he gets a round of applause from the crowd. And Avishes is delayed is really, really annoying. The coverage of this comp is so bad. Yeah, on URC TV, I think there's a little bit of a delay, but not as bad as Sky Sport now for the Super Rugby side of things. I'm really hoping for Connacht to take the win. Not the best start to the second half. Yeah, I mentioned the first 10 minutes was going to be absolutely vital for this Connacht side. They have already conceded. If Glasgow score again, I think this game is done. So it all comes down to what they can do from here. And actually, 2 Gilbert kicks, the one down in the middle of the field, set up the 50-22, says Studs Race. Now ball's there for Connacht round the halfway line. Bundy Aki. Oh, to release that one in the tackle attempt to Rory Dash. Got the smiley faces from Sofia as well. Novak, the greatest ever. But I thought it was the end of the era tonight, although the heat was about 34 degrees. I assume that's tennis, right? I haven't played a lot of tennis in my time. I remember playing tennis back in PE at school, but I did it bare feet on concrete. So then I ended up with a blister the size of my big toe underneath my big toe, which was not fun. Which is why they wear shoes in tennis, I think. Anyway, now offload there. Here comes George Horn. If he scores this try... Oh, no, never mind. There was another try. Never mind. I got all excited. But now moving it off. Now Kyle Stain, ball on the inside to Rory Dash. And Fagerson scores. Okay. That changes this game, ladies and gentlemen. I said that first 10 minutes, and we're only 8 minutes through that first 10. And it just seems like it's falling apart a little bit now. Okay, they're saying there that it may have actually been at least one forward pass, though. And we have you there. I had tennis elbow. And I also put my money on Glasgow to win the comp outright. Could be tough. Says starter. And hashtag double listed toes. It was only my right foot's toe, though. So I must have been very much so dominant off the right rather than my left. From memory, I think my left was fine. We're going to see it now. It's a forward pass from Jack Dempsey. That one's going to be disallowed, ladies and gentlemen. And also be sure to join next play quiz. And not too late to be in the running for the prize, says White. That is true, because the thing is, I'm going to more than likely, I won't win the prize. you know. I will give it to whoever's the next one down. But at the moment, it's Fleshin. So that, you know, there's still plenty of time. That is the pinned comment, ladies and gents. You don't have to put an email or anything in, or at least you shouldn't have to. That is only if you win the prize that you do need to give the contact details so that you can get it shipped to you. I hope you've had breakfast. I drank an up and go at like 5:30 a.m., if that counts. But other than that, not really. I think I had dinner last night. I think that was roughly around the... Yeah, no, I did. We're good, I think. I also had water on the knee. Tape on the ankle cured it. Had water on the knee. That sounds weird, doesn't it? A little bit of, I guess, fluid in your patella, was it? Rollerblading on the clay court sucks. I learnt the hard way. Up and go does not count, sir. I'll have something of actual hardness after this. Actually, you're going to South Africa for the greatest rivalry tour? No, but we will be covering it on the channel. Connacht, the lucky thing there for them is that is a disallowed try, so it is now 14-7 in terms of the scoreline. Now going away to the right-hand side. For the steal and the breakdown was George Horn, Kyle Stain, shifted it on to Prendergast, now Ioane. There is still time. Second behind. Says Fleshin. I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd be first. I got really lucky with one answer that I can't quite remember which one it was, but I got a whole heap of points from that. I think I got like 9,000 for getting I was about to say guessing, which it literally was, but guessing a line out right. Managed to boost me up big time, plus a couple 5,000s along the way too. Schickerling. He's not Irish, he's Scottish. How do you speak Scottish? Schickerling. That was still Irish. I give you cankles, or it gives you cankles, says Cool Story. I had my pick of 5 to 14 passes. I just got another 5,000 points. Now 30 minutes remain. Going off to the left-hand side. The thing is, though, the fact that I'm so far ahead actually benefits because it means that they'll make it so that the rest of the points in terms of the rest of the game are worth a lot more, which means anyone inside of the grouping who are doing it can actually still win. Going right-hand side, Connacht moving the ball on. This one, nice hands out to Kiam Prendergast. Another tackle made. Now left-hand side. Murphy. Ioane. Passes out. They looked a little bit close to Ford. In fact, it has been ruled as such. It does mean now that there is another attacking chance for the Glasgow Warriors. We've actually seen a few forward passes. See, the next question value is 10,000, for which team will get inside of their opponent's 22 next. Now, that, of course, was not including Connacht's one that they just had, I assume. I think that was for just after because of our delay. He's got a little bit of blood coming out of the elbow. I'm still pending on that conversion question. Did you get it right, though, Fleshin? Am I pending on anything? Yeah, I might be pending on one of the conversion ones too, maybe. George Horn, though, scrum feed for Glasgow inside of their own 22 at the moment. And speaking Scottish requires putting 6 marbles in your mouth and never using a hard T, H, or P. See, I like saying Bruin, but I get told by people who are Scottish that that's not how you say it. But it sounds like that's how you should say it. You know, like Gregor Bruin off the bench. Although I don't think he's actually on the bench today. But he was one time. We have got there, yeah, and also Dot and Casper and all those guys had cankles. Says Cool Story. No, says Fleshin. Now line out here, 42 metres out. And Bruin says Roof. Thank you, lads, now in first place. Are we really going to let Hamish win, guys? I don't think you guys will let me win because I think you're going to keep on having it that it's higher points, which is good. Keep on, get people up to, the correct jersey was the one that I didn't click. I wasn't watching. But now, Chance here going off to the right-hand side for George Horn. That would have got me another 5,000 too. I would have been flying, so it's probably good that I didn't answer that one. George Horn back across here again in the quarterfinal of the URC for a space in the semis. Kicked him behind. Nicely taken by Connacht. Oh, that looked a bit high from Josh Mackay, actually riding up over the header. Sam Gilbert wanting the steal there in the breakdown was Daj, but his teammate hadn't left the breakdown. And there's a knock on. And that means that Glasgow will get the putting into the scrum. Glasgow's ball here to try and get some sort of big play going. They are already leading by 7. Another try now. Again, it probably takes Connacht out of the game. Unless they can find some sort of big momentum moment. And come on, Bry, says Johan there. Yeah, we just see it in the process of trying to pick that ball up for Murphy. Matt Ferguson just having a bit of a conversation here with the touch judge on the near side. And also we do see O'Brien. He is out there for, would it be Paul Boyle from that number 8 jersey. Well, they've got who will score the 20,000 points. For who scores the next try. George Horn, that one, another scrum reset. Okay, referee's pretty much just called out both front rows. They have pretty much, or the referee pretty much said, hey, you're both looking at the assistant referee moaning about trying to get a penalty. How about you just scrummage properly? You prefer rollerblading with hot dog in hand or ice skating with empty hands? Ooh, I would say, am I allowed to eat the hot dog or do I just have to hold it the whole time I'm rollerblading? I did once ice skate, but I was on one of those Zimmer frames, like that they give to the elderly, but on ice. We have, this is least political chat group in the world. Well done. Says cool story. I just got who? Says Fleshin. Oh, so it like only had the question of did it at least let you select one Fleshin, or was it that you couldn't select anyone? Now George Horn, another advantage in favour of the Glasgow Warriors. They are in the box seat and now Sione Tuipulotu. Backline movement going through and they score now. It's Josh Mackay who manages to get the try. Didn't mean to make that rhyme. But 55 minutes in and Glasgow get their third. Okay, no one got that one for the 15 being able to score either. Hot dogs are meant to be eaten and washed down with an ice cold Coke. And your wrong selection says Fleshin in there too. I went George Horn again. I feel like he had a decent chance. He is now going to be taking the conversion at the posts. And Yahoo says starter 6. In there as well. Crowd goes silent. Horn strikes it down the middle and scores the additional 2. Glasgow now leading this game 21 points to 7. This is either going to get a little bit ugly now in terms of the scoreline, or Connacht have to dig deeper than they have throughout the rest of the game and find a way back into this contest. They are not at home. So because of that, it means that it is going to be difficult because the crowd will be against them. But not impossible. Similar to the Stain try. Connacht left the same gap in the D. And he's blushed it again. Says Sophia. It depends. When my face is this way, that turns me red. When I'm this way, I'm still red. But it's less obvious, I guess. Does Yahoo still exist? Haven't heard from them in a while. I don't really know, to be honest. Is Yahoo still a thing? Does anyone use Yahoo? Does anyone use Mozilla Firefox? That was a thing, wasn't it? Back in the day. Now, kick downfield again. Counter-attacking chance here for Glasgow Warriors. I still rollerblade to warm up my ankles before I reshape my bones. Before you reshape your bones? That sounds technical. Oh, that was high on Josh Ioane, although I think that they've said that Alex Samuel only hit him around the chest. Connacht now have got themselves the ball yet again. Oh, thought about the chip. Sides against it. Now left-hand side. Penalty only would be the call. Connacht moving this one out wide, I should say. Sorry, now another offload. They move into the 22. Now back across to the right again. And only an expression of joy. Yahoo still exists though. To delete off Windows installs. Says starter. Now 10 metres out. This is the chance for Connacht. They need to be the next team to score. Xander Ferguson gets the massive turnover there. And a double blow of the whistle. He wants a bit of space here, the referee. He thinks it's important. No, that was my Welsh accent. They all sound Irish. That didn't even sound Irish though. Woohoo Sports, says Sophia there too. Okay. The referee's just explained that it was a high shot in Ioane, but they did play the penalty advantage of about 70 metres. So because of that, they won't go back for any sort of penalty way back down the field. And Link says, hey no. So the link for Pole Sport, it is in the pinned comment, hey no. But I can put it in the chat, hopefully. There you go. Oh, sorry, for next play. They had a name change. That's why there's been some confusion. Can you kickflip on a skateboard? No, sadly. It'd be cool to be able to kickflip, but I definitely cannot. You know, not in any sort of substantial way anyway. And it could have been a yellow card. Not quite. Referee said that it was only going to be a penalty, and he was playing the advantage as such. Now, if they had looked at it more, maybe it could have been upgraded, but one's going to be kicked into touch by the Glasgow Warriors. 21 minutes remaining on the clock, and they are on 21 points in comparison to Connacht 7. Just bouncing awkwardly. Sideways direction. Okay, I got 20 points for that. So that was a big opportunity to catch up. I see the judges come back with a nice comeback in terms of the top three. It looks like Schickerling will make his way from the field. Xander Ferguson coming off as well. And chest on head, it's a red if you're AB's captain. Says Studs Race. Yeah. What actually just happened? We got a line out, don't we? I think it is Connacht's ball. Yes, it is. They are inside of their own half, though, so more than likely we'll look for a kick downfield. Oh, it's stolen by Glasgow 2 there. Or is it? No, it's still on the side of Connacht to have managed to take that ball back. Rollerblading down, even a small incline, feels like you've hit a wall. Or feels like if you hit a wall, you die. Says, goal penalty awarded to Connacht there. So the knee was on the ground and then they ripped it off him on the turf. And rollerblades have 2 front wheels and 2 back wheels. Then you get the 4 wheels in the row version. That's the one that my younger cousin, she does that. In terms of like, she does it long distance on a rollerblade. Like she goes around a big track. But like, I don't think I'd be able to do that because I wouldn't know how to brake. I know that there's like a way to do it, how you're supposed to, you know, it's like the pizza french fries situation with skiing. But yeah, I'm not good at skiing either. I never went off the beginner slope because someone in our class, they went on to the amateur slope and they went full steam ahead into a shed. So, yeah. I still remember the quote because they were sliding her past on the sled, taking her to get medical attention. They went, "Are you okay back there?" And she went, "Ugh." So I decided beginner slope it is. Never went to onto the amateur one from there. I don't know why they put a shed so close to it though, to be fair. Surely someone in the design plans messed up a bit. But Connacht winning another penalty here. So they're continually driving themselves a little bit further towards the opposition line. You see it there just for an accidental, deliberate knockdown. Well, is it accidental if it's deliberate? A knockdown that turned into a deliberate situation. Connacht now with the chance to get this ball again. We're into the final quarter. Uh-oh, there's like a quiz in terms of how many passes they had. That's hard work. I'm just going to go a specific gap and hope for the best. Now, another penalty advantage, but Connacht back about 15 metres from the try line. Moving it on nicely. Oh, it's been thrown into touch, though. Although they did already have that penalty advantage. Hashtag poor girl. Did she make it through the pain to at least live another day? Yeah, and Isaac's now engaged to it. He's actually, yeah, they're engaged now. That's Isaac's girlfriend. I think they were dating at the time too. This guy has always run away from the Bladers. Here's a cool story. Number 14, never back on side, so that is against Kyle Stain. It was 87. I think I do get points, though, for the Connacht being inside of the 22. Maybe. 5 metres out. Chance here for Connacht's line out. And I bounced downstairs and landed on my face. Not too bad, though. Oh, well, that's a bonus. Are you dating? Says Sophia. Is that a question or an offer? Now, sitting 5 metres out from the line. Now going away to the right-hand side. 5 metres out from the try line here with Bundy Arki. Oh, that was a big shot. Onki and Prendergast. Now moving it on. Short ball. Only a couple metres out from the try line here now. Replacement half. On out to Hurley Langton. Now Connacht getting that little bit closer. And there's a new advantage here again. There could be a card coming. And, it's just short of the try line again. 17 minutes remaining. And if they score now, this game is well and truly on. Right, half a metre still remaining. And that's very close. To getting the ball down. No, they don't quite do it again. They need to go that extra half metre, but for now, Glasgow have been defending, but they also do have that advantage against them. So by the end of this play, it may still be a yellow card no matter what happens. Finlay Bielim, he's just short again. Glasgow, there is desperation coming from their players. They know how crucial it is to stop this play now. They have... Oh, is that down? It's held up, but blow the whistle and now yellow card for the Glasgow Warriors. Number 5, Alex Samuel taken off the field. Offer. Says Sophia there. And also we have got there what's happening to Ruby Tuesday. I think she's normally here for the South African games. I don't think she's normally here for the other matches. So in terms of Bulls versus Munster as well as Stormers versus Cardiff, I think we'll see her for one of them. But I think she also went for the Sharks, didn't she? And game over for Connacht if they can't score before 70 minutes, says Sergio. I feel like I should stop answering questions. The thing is, it's the same when I play like Trivial Pursuit. I just guess, and sometimes... Oh, actually, they're going to check this one to see whether or not there is the grounding. As Connacht feel relatively confident that they've been able to get it down. Referee seems like he's happy enough to have a look. Now, there's a bit of concern in the background as well. I think there was actually Hugh Gavin who was down. What's the longest your hair's been? I can see you enjoying a mohawk, says Xander. Longest was actually literally long hair. Not a good decision on my part, I have to say. I knew that it didn't look good, but I still kind of did it anyway. This is very close. That looks good from that angle. Aussies love their mullet look. Yeah, I haven't ever had a mullet, and I don't think I would go down the mullet track. George has had kind of a half mullet. I can't remember what he calls it, but it's pretty much where you chop out that side bit and make your head like kind of more squarish with your hair, if that makes sense. I just want to make sure that the ball is clearly down. Yeah, I think that's probably a try. They need it to be clearly grounded. Okay. The TMO has also said, shave it down to... I'll shave it down. I got a buzz cut for the channel one time. We have got the awesome Glasgow need more points, says Stefan. Okay. They can clearly see a grounding. So the try is good. And Connacht are back into this game. And they have a man advantage for the next 10 minutes. This could all change in an instant here. Try Glasgow, says Stefan. A chance here to be able to line up this kick. It looks like Sam Gilbert was actually the man down. I said initially it was Hugh Gavin. That was because I didn't want it to be Sam Gilbert, because I know that man has been in some sensational form for Connacht, and if they were to win in this game somehow, they would need him in the semi-finals. Should be a relatively straightforward kick. More points, Glasgow ASAP, says Starter. It looks like they're just having a little bit of a delay here because, of course, Sam Gilbert is normally the man who would take the kick. But they're still just checking on him to make sure that he's going to be all right to continue. Let's go, Glasgow. Says King of Beer. Connacht's coach. Neither man has smiled, I will mention. I think maybe there'll be a smile from one of the coaches afterwards. No, I need one more try, go Glasgow. Says Stefan in there too. Now Gilbert. It is a relatively important kick in the overall outcome of this game, which is why he's taken so long to then be ready to strike it. Oh no, he's just doing a couple warm-ups here to make sure that he can actually hit the ball. But it's not Gilbert who was the main man down. It looks like it actually was Hugh Gavin who was down as well. Got the man of the match nominations: Rory Darge, Jack Dempsey, Kyle Stain, Kian Prendergast and Josh Ioane. Tell you what, if Ioane had continued the way that he did throughout the first 5 minutes, it would have been undeniable for that man to be the man of the match. Now it's a lot more debatable, I guess you could say, with the way that we're seeing Glasgow come back into the contest. But it'll be intriguing to see which direction people are thinking. But yeah, the player is going off the field and they have got the green whistle out, which normally means there's some sort of dislocation. How about shaven head and long biker beard? I don't think I can get a long biker beard. This is about as good of a beard as I can grow, which is quite sad. Sometimes it will get a little bit longer, but it gets scruffy and patchy, which is very sad. Oh, the thumbs up there from the player. I don't actually think he knows where he is, though, because he was slurping down on that green whistle for a while. Sam Gilbert gives a teammate a bit of a tap there too. But yeah, it is Hugh Gavin. Was taken from the field. You need beard oil. Yeah, but first I need a beard. Did you take the offer? Maybe. But chance here for the line out. Oh, sorry, not the line out. The kick at the post for Sam Gilbert. That one has gone down the middle. It's a very solid strike. 1 second, we'll go like this. We'll go like that as well. Will Connacht come back? Oh, that's worth 20 grand. I've got to get that one right. I like the fact that these ones are worth a lot more points. What I was going to say is if it is that I've got a decent lead, I was going to be not answering the last question, and I was going to say just make it like a 50,000 question. Have everyone in the running. But we're not quite at that stage yet. Still 15 minutes remaining, but that was an important kick. 7 points difference up the Blues. Says Rugby Itch there. Yeah, they need a good game up against the Chiefs, don't they? Because if they don't, could be trouble. Are we over there, hello fellow South Africans? Remember that 90s snake board? A weird skateboard that would bend. I know we had something called a ripstick here in New Zealand. If anyone knows what that is. The one now you got to do that pretty much so that you go like that. But now rolling ball here in the line out department for the Glasgow Warriors. They're moving forward in a good direction here currently. Just consistently making those meters along the way. Sione Vailanu, he's made his way on for Glasgow. Not a bad replacement to bring on. I reckon that's it, says Cool Story. And Connacht might finish with 14 men. They've got to be careful here because, of course, they did get that early yellow card. They can't really afford to lose a man now. Definitely not when they've got that advantage. Glasgow, this is when they're at their most vulnerable, I would say. Or there was a patch in the first half. Actually, no, first 5 minutes they actually looked their most vulnerable. But now, Matt Fagerson. Still in the hands of this Glasgow Warriors team with 13 and a half minutes left on the clock. Kyle Steyn goes back across to the left. And now, good run forward from Stafford McDowell, another man that I haven't really mentioned too much throughout the match. Talakai. Now moving it on again. Tuipulotu goes out to Kyle Rowe. Just stays in the field of play. I was going to go here, but there's hope yet, says Cool Story. Yeah, only 7 points separating these two sides currently. I will mention, of course, we were talking about the predictions and whatnot. If this game ends this score, I would have it 100% right. So we need there to be some more tries and some more changes in the score department, or else I'd get some more points. And we have there Steyn making lots of chances for Glasgow. Says Ruth. Now pick and go again here. They haven't really gone too far forward at the moment here, the Glasgow Warriors, but they've had enough phases that they've just been able to continuously wear down this Connacht defence. Jack Dempsey, still 30 metres out. Kyle Rowe, pick and go from the big replacement lock, and it should be the try. Yes, it is. And Glasgow score at the best possible time. Oh, hang on. Is the TMO talking? This might not be guaranteed as of yet, but it was the big man, Olojare Ojunte Beju, off the bench. I don't think he's French, but I make it sound very French. I don't make any French names sound French, but I make his name sound extremely that way. Where do I sit? It says Mohadeen. We got to wait till after the conversion, then I'll let you know whereabouts you're standing. It's a good finish. It's just whether or not there was a player being maybe obstructed. And it seems like it is all fine. So currently, Mohadeen, you are in 6th place. And we have there the French, says Ruth. Okay, it has been awarded. Red card for the red card for the croc roll. We have got there now how the ball's supposed to do anything. Says Cool Story. Oh, the gap's closing a little bit. 15,000 at the moment. I'm sure there'll still be a few 20,000 questions as well as a few other little ones thrown in there too. George Hall making his way off. He isn't allowed to do that, in my opinion. Says Haino. It's in the run next to the breakdown or the playing of the guys, he's part of the ruck. Yeah, see, sometimes it gets a bit controversial in that department. I thought his legs were going to give out the way that he was running, to be fair. Second, we'll go like that. And like that as well. Now, Connacht, they are down by that little bit of a bigger margin. 28 points to 14 now. 11 minutes remain. In fact, no, now we're ticking down to the 10. And we've got to remember, this is the time where Connacht actually do have the man advantage. Not quite able to make the most of it. My prediction was cut off for the final score. 3-0. Oh, no. Do you think they'd let us do another round of predictions? Anytime you see me looking that way, it's because they're in the room round over there. So I look that way even though they can't see me. Now, moving forward. Go like that. Now, Kian Prendergast. Connacht The ball in hand again, charging forward. It's a beautiful run from the replacement number 21, Matthew Devine. And Bundyaki passes short side. It's going to be 2 passes. As long as they don't lose the ball here. 1, 2. 1 more. Oh, I tell you what, we've nailed it again in terms of the pass count. That one took place just after the 71, so I got 5,000 points. But now still there, Matt Devine. He's actually gone all right since making his way onto field. Connacht robbed. Says Haino, although they're right back in it now. Now 5 metres out. Back across to the right here again. They need a try now if they want to get a chance of being able to come back into this game. I mean, in this zone quite often throughout the game, but this is where if they can get another penalty advantage, they could all of a sudden really start to tear Glasgow to shreds, maybe get themselves a 2-man advantage. Now, just out. Oh, Bielam's on the line, and he scores the try. Tell you what, there's still a little bit of a late change that can happen in this game. Connacht do not want to give in. We've got 9 minutes remaining. If they get this kick over, we could go to golden point time between these two sides. Although the thing is, it's not actually just golden point time. It's actually 20 minutes that they will play. 10-minute halves, I believe. So we'll extend this match by quite a significant margin. But Connacht just do not want to back down. Sam Gilbert strikes it, gets it over. And the additional 2 makes the score 28 points to 21. There is another injury now for one of the Connacht players as well. We have got there, TMO says no. Says Xander. Checking it there. They think that one's all right. The man of the match. Still the same 5 candidates as it was before. Tynus can make us talk nonsense, says Ruth. I am probably a perfect example of that when I do get majorly overtired. And now the kickoff. In terms of where this ball is going to be landing. Oh, awkward bouncing ball. Cole Stain trying to grab her at forward. And Connacht have played it into touch. That is a phenomenal kick. Anyone who got that one as well in terms of where the zone was going to be, you get a massive points boost because I actually missed that question. Oh, that's cost me. I'm in third now. It's between Fleshin and the judge in terms of the top 2. The worst thing is that was the zone I was clicking, but I waited too long. And this is doing my head and says start of 6. Yeah, it's going to be one of those ones, it seems, every time Connacht almost get back into the game, they're going to then cost themselves another moment. And Connacht are playing with 14 men, I believe. They emptied their bench and the HIA failed. Says Haino. Oh, really? So they actually only have 14? I never actually realised. The judge now getting close. Says Xander. Finley Bellham looks like he is not going to be able to continue in this contest either. Or is he? He's going to try and stick it out for his side just that little bit longer. And not sure totally. Says Haino. Okay, no subs left, so he's going to stay on the field for Finley Bellham. Line out here, just out from the 5-metre line. Going in again, nicely taken. And now another advantage. This is danger now. Can everyone give their thoughts on the next play prediction quiz? Says White Noy, yeah, be sure to give them feedback as this is their trial run of the weekend. Just to see how it all goes on like a live stream. Now George Horn, he's already made his way off the field earlier on. And now wide cut out pass. Kyle Stain scores the try. And Glasgow now. Oh, what was my original prediction? My original prediction, I think I went 42-21. I would have been better off keeping that rather than switching it down to the lowest score. And we have got there the judge now getting close. Yeah, this conversion could cost a lot of points for either Fleshin or the judge, depending on who gets it right. Oh no, it's only 1,000 points. It won't be too brutal then. And Yahoo Wahoo says starter there. Oh, a kick here. It's not George Horn who is lining it up, as he has already been taken from the field. 6 minutes left on the clock, and that one probably would be enough. I would say Connacht being robbed, says Hayno. That one's missing away to the right-hand side. It keeps the score at 33 points to 21. And we have got there, Hamish, what happened to you? In what regard, Kentucky Fried? Kyle Stain, though, scoring his second try of the contest. He has to be man of the match now, I think. When you think about what he's been able to do in this game, that 50-22, that helped his side go in the right direction. He scored the try pretty much straight after there's a drop ball. Sione Tuipulotu told to calm down by the referee. But it is the scrum feed here for Connacht. Hey, man of the match, Hamish, you're right. And I think it's over. It's now. Or it is now. I think so, unless Connacht score right now. If Connacht score in pretty much the next 2 minutes, it's still very much possible. One second, we'll go like this. And like this. Right, number 7 needs to leave the field. And we have it there. I think it's over. It's over now. An Irish stew. Handsome man. Says Sophia. And also a South African body roll. Says Xander. We'll go like that. But now scrum feed here. And like that as well. This is my brainless secondary account. Hamish, sorry about that. It was supposed to be this account. Says Jaden. Now O'Brien breaking off the back, knowing that this is do or die now in this stage of the contest. And they've just knocked it on Connacht. That hurts. That was just at the wrong time. We have a go there. Do y'all watch any Latin American rugby games or league? Not really. I'm pretty bad at watching overseas competitions at times. I have to say the MLR was a competition that I was thoroughly excited for, but just never really started watching. When you planning to get biltong? Not sure, because I had that dodgy biltong that was like supposed to be good, but it wasn't because it had sat in a courier van for a couple days. Your hair looks Irish and skincare routine, mate. Says Xander. Like, as in my skincare looks Irish? Or separate? Yep. It's going to be the scrum, though, again. Coverage on URC TV is just slightly frozen, so I'm going to refresh. Just to make sure that it does work out nicely for the final 3 minutes. But Connacht, after making that mistake, just don't know if they've got the time remaining, unless they can win a big turnover at some random moment here in the next kind of couple moments. I think I said moments about 5 times there, but man of the match has to go to Kyle Stain for what he's been able to do out there on the field. He just kept on piling on the pressure and had a real captain's effort out there today. Scrum feed now for the Glasgow Warriors. And ball's put in by the replacement in Jack Oliver. And a penalty won by the Glasgow Warriors. Sione Vailanu doing a bit of the finger waving. He knows that that was a big moment for his side. Plastic performance from the Black Caps though, but Blair Tickner is insane. Why are your headphones bypassing your ears to put the sound straight into your brain? Why are your headphones bypassing your ears? Oh, on that side. No, like this one's worn properly. This side, I have my ear out just so that I can hear what's happening around me. I always say about it how if I was ever going to have my house robbed, I'd at least know it's happening while I'm streaming rather than just chilling, commentating away while it's happening. So yeah, it's just so that I can slightly hear what's happening. Oh, we've got the next question is who? Who what? Oh, who is going to be the jumper? This is worth 20,000 points. I don't know if I got that right. I don't even know if I locked it in time. But now, this one rolling sideways. Still on the side of Glasgow with 90 seconds remaining. Back across again to Fetty. Currently still very close at the top of the bunch. Judge or Flesh and Cam both still win it. Haino's made a late comeback too. He only was here for the second half. He's already on 57,000 points. I reckon injuries costed them, says Haino. And thanks Hamish and thanks Kyle Stain. Now 1 minute left on the clock. Still Glasgow's ball, almost a turnover chance for Connacht again. Now moving it across, looking for the kick in behind, playing a bit of territory. And in fact, that one is going to just keep on bouncing. It's a beautiful kick again. It will be the line-out throw for Connacht, but they're in that scenario there how, that really does hurt because they have to go now the full length of the field twice in 40 seconds. So Glasgow will win this game, ladies and gentlemen. They decided to take it quickly. Glasgow weren't back 10. So it does mean that the penalty is awarded. I think that one they would have thrown it over the top, I would think, but I'm not sure what number player that would have been. It was crazy that Mitchell Satner was overconfident. We're going to see it there. It went to someone way at the back of the line out, and the ball was actually stolen by Glasgow. Now 5 seconds remaining. Player of the match has gone to Kyle Stain. The crowd giving a big ovation in that regard as well. Oh, Fleshin got a big... What did you get right there, Fleshin? You got an extra 15,000 or so. Now still on the side of Connacht. It is after the full-time siren. Glasgow managed to get that ball back. Sam Gilbert plays it on the ground. Failanu trying to get it back for his side, but can't quite do it. It seems like Connacht just want one more. Just to get that final say on the score sheet. Now 1 minute passed and now it's taken back by the Glasgow Warriors. It's on their side. They will boot it into touch. And that is the end of the contest, 33-21. And Glasgow Warriors confirm their semi-final spot, which now means if the Bulls beat Munster, they will have to head to Scotland. However, their Flesh went big, says and he also must have got some points in the final round as well. Oh, some double points. He almost got 150,000 in the end. But the first quarter final is now done and dusted. We do get to see, of course, the winner being Connacht. They'll move on to the semi-finals. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Anyone who did use that next play, of course, be sure to give some feedback on the app or on the website, as well as in the chat if you did take part. But yeah, nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning in. Next live stream will be the Super Rugby stream tonight. That is going to be taking place on the channel. But yeah, I will see you all. Oh, I should also mention Fleshin won. So Fleshin, be sure to give them your email and they will send you some merchandise of some sort. It's probably going to be something off that UK shop. They'll give you a budget and they'll let you know, I guess, what you're able to buy. I think it will be a decent budget though. I'll twist their arm and see if it can be. But nonetheless, thank you all for watching. I will see you all for the next one.